Shelves are empty, and it's not because I'm cleaning up around the house. We are actually in the process of moving. I've got most of my stuff already hauled off over to the other place, and I have just a little bit left here to pack up. But while I'm doing that, I think I'm gonna go over my list of what I think will be trends this year. Call it predictions, call it just guidelines for how I kind of want to go into drinking bourbon in 2025. But while I'm packing up all of this stuff, that's what I'm going to try and give you. My first one is that I think if 2020 was the infancy of a lot of people's bourbon drinking experience, as we move into 2025, everybody's a little bit more of a toddler. They know what they like, they know what they don't like, and these limited time offer bottles that are set at really outrageous prices just might not fly off the shelf quite the way they used to. I think we're moving into a time with a more discerning bourbon drinker, and personally, I think that's great. It's gonna force a lot of companies to sort of dial back that LTO spree that we've seen over the last couple years and really try and hone in on some good bottles. And with that, I think we're going to start seeing more great bottles in that $50 to $75 price range. We're already seeing Four Roses did the single barrel iterations of a couple of their mash bills, and those are phenomenal. If you haven't gone out and gotten one or two of them to try side by side, it's really worth doing. And at that $50 price range, you can't really beat it. It's nice to see some of that coming back into the market. But I've got to run to the grocery store and pick up some stuff, and while I'm doing that, I'll try and get through the rest of my list and then show you the bar here at the end. Thanks. And the second trend or thing that I'm going to try and do this year that I think more people should maybe look into is just open the bottles that I already have. There are a number of bottles that I've kind of been waiting to get into because I didn't want to move them while they were open, but they've been sitting on the shelf for a little while, and I think it's kind of time to taste those. It'll be fun to get to experience those new things, but also I think it'll help me make more informed choices in the future. You kind of know a little bit more about what you like, whether these $300, $200, $100 bottles are worth it, and what are the more reasonably priced bottles that maybe you haven't really been given a chance. So that's thing number 2 that I'm going to look into. This is the new bar, so I still need to set everything up, and I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna do that, if it's gonna be by distillery or color proof, or put the nice ones up top and put everything else down on the bottom, something like that. But number 3 is gonna be try before you buy. I'm gonna incorporate a little bit more sampling prior to purchasing, which kind of ties into that first one of open the bottles. I got several bottles here still unopened, but I think trying out things before just going in and spending money on it is going to be a good way to be a little bit more of a responsible purchaser moving forward. And then my 4th thing that I'm going to do, I don't know if it'll be a trend or anything, but that's going to be whiskey clubs and store picks. Instead of just picking up kind of the standard bottle, I'm going to focus in more on individual store picks. Usually there's some experienced tasters kind of behind that decision. You get more unique experiences, which is partially why I'm looking into local whiskey clubs, bottle of the month clubs, stuff like that. because you do sort of get that more unique experience. But those are my 4 trends or leading principles that I'm going to go with into 2025. Next video should be me maybe putting some of this together a little bit better. But till then, I'll catch you later.